This is 3.3a. In this lesson, we're going to learn about the interior angles theorem. And in fact, the interior angles theorem is something that you probably already know, probably something that you've used throughout this unit. And what it says is that the angles inside a triangle always add to 180 degrees. So because it's pretty simple and because you've probably already used it, we're just going to jump right into some examples. In these examples, you're going to set up an equation, then solve for x, and then find all three angles. Okay, so first example here, we have triangle ABC, and what I know is those three angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So first thing I want to do is set up an equation. That's going to be step one. So I'm just going to put step one right here. So we know that 80 plus x plus another x altogether is 180. Okay, step two is to solve for x. So I'm just going to keep working along here and solve for x. So first thing I'd probably do is combine these two x's. So 1x plus 1x is 2x. So 2x plus 80 equals 180. And now I need to work to get x alone. So subtract the 80 from it. 2x is 100. And then last step, divide by 2. And x is 50. So this is kind of our step two here, all of this. All right, and then step three is to actually find all three angles. Well, it's not going to be very difficult in this case because if x is 50, then this angle here is 50, and this angle here is also 50. So I would just list them. So let's just list them in order. So measure of angle A is equal to 50 degrees. Measure of angle B is equal to 80 degrees. And measure of angle C is equal to 50 degrees. And it's always a good idea to just glance at those, double check, make sure that those do in fact all add to 180, which they do. So we're good to move on to the next one. So in example 2, we have a little bit more complicated of a problem, but same idea. First thing we want to do is remind ourselves that this square angle is 90 degrees. So fill that one in, and then we're going to go through the same process. So all three of our angles added together is going to give us 180 degrees. So I'm going to start with the 2x minus 9 just to get that one out of the way. That's one of our angles. We can take it out of the parentheses. We don't really need it. Then to that, we're going to add our 90 degrees plus 32. And all together, those should sum 180. Okay. Now we just have some cleaning up to do. So our 2x can stay by itself, but then we have to add together negative 9 plus 90 plus 32, positive 113. And all of that is equal to 180. Okay, now we need to get that x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 113 from both sides. And that's going to give us 2x is equal to 67. And then last step, divide by 2, and x is equal to 33.5. And that's fine. We don't always get perfect, nice round numbers for x, and that's fine. We can be okay with that. So at that point, what we're going to do, so this is kind of our step 1, our step 2, we went and solved. And then step 3 is to take this answer for x and substitute it in for x. So I'm going to go down here where I have some space. We need to do 2 times 33.5 minus 9. 2 times 33.5 is 67, and 67 minus 9 is 58. All right, so that tells us that if we did things right, that angle F is 58 degrees. So last thing that we want to do is just make a list of all of our angles. So let's go measure of angle D is 90 degrees. Measure of angle E is 32 degrees. And measure of angle F is 58 degrees. And if we want to double check our work, we can just add all those together. So 90, let's see, let's add down the column here. Actually, 0 plus 2 plus 8 is 10, carry the 1. And then we have 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus 5 is 180. So that's good. That means that we got that right. All right, so in summary, just remember that in every single triangle, right triangle, acute triangle, obtuse triangle, as long as it has 3 sides and it's a triangle, your 3 angles are always going to add to 180 degrees. So if you're asked to set up an equation, this is what it looks like. Measure of the first angle plus the measure of the second angle plus the measure of the third angle is always, always, always going to be equal to 180 degrees. And from there, it's just an algebra problem. So good luck.